Good evening, this is my audience, Ethan Medlin and Addie Roach. Thank you guys. Trust in God's timing. It's better to wait a while and have things fall into place than to rush and have things fall apart. Adam Kappa said that. I attend Landmark Baptist Church here in Easley, South Carolina, and our pastor is Gary Edwards. Several years ago, God laid it on Pastor Gary Edwards' heart to build a multi-purpose building. We have a huge youth group and a lot of kids that are coming up in our youth group, and so a building of this sort is very much a need. He knew that we needed this type of building, he just didn't know when God would allow him to build it. When he and his family were on vacation with each other last July of 2022, God gave him the peace and said that it was time to build the building. He came back home and he told our church that we were going to start the process of building this multi-purpose building. He got in touch with a general contractor, and the general contractor wrote up a statement and all of this stuff, and our biggest hurdle and biggest obstacle was going to be putting in a water sprinkler system. This was going to cost our church over $500,000. We began to pray and we began to think, okay, do we continue to go forward with this building? And Pastor said yes, because God said we're doing this. About a week later, Pastor receives a phone call from a gentleman that said, we can build that building without having a sprinkler system put in. So that phone call saved our church over $500,000. Once he got that phone call, he met with a contractor and the process was started. Our church voted in support of it. We had a 99% support vote. And after we decided to move forward, our pastor receives a phone call from a general contractor who said he had heard that our church was going to be building a building and that he and his company would like to donate their services free of charge to our church. So that phone call saved our church over $74,000. 2 days later, the contractor calls and he said he had met with the grading company. Because we're building the building right beside our church building, and so it's got to be graded out. And the graders called and told the contractor, he said, we want to donate our time and labor to the church. So $80,000 worth of work for free. About a month later, after that phone call, our general contractor called and he said, okay, we've ran into some issues. It looks like we're going to have to do some more grading, and this is going to cost about $80,000. And it was an $80,000 budget that we didn't plan for. And so the pastor brought it before the church, and we were going to vote on it. But the first thing that the pastor wanted us to do was pray about it. So we prayed about it. We gathered as a church and we prayed about it. And then the next service, the pastor had reported to us because the general contractor had called him back, and he said that $80,000 job that we were going to have to fork out to pay for, he got it resolved and down to $300. So an $80,000 job was now just going to cost our church $300. So God has had his hand all over this project, and our general contractor keeps telling our pastor that we're going to have to pay to have this building built because everybody just keeps donating their services. And it's been a blessing to watch and unfold. I want to leave you with this quote that says, stress makes you believe that everything has to happen right now, but faith reassures you that everything will happen in God's timing. Marcus Lamb was famous for saying that. Thank you and have a good evening.